So this is the deliciousness that is beef belly burnt ends, smoked on a pellet grill. Oh my lord. It was just amazing. I've still got some in the freezer. I've portioned it. Okay, so this is what I bought. 3.94 kilos. Let's call it 4 kilos. Beef navel end brisket. And I clicked my fingers and I didn't it didn't work because I put the navel end in the wrong spot. So this continues on from the brisket, this cut. Anyway, here's me 6 tablespoons. They're American tablespoons of Spa, I reckon it was about a teaspoon of 5 spice powder and 1 tablespoon of paprika. I mixed all that and left it there for one when I had cut the belly. So it's really easy. This cut is beef belly. So just to explain it, it's like pork belly, only it's on the beef, right? It's pretty much you could just put it in the smoker like this and then cover it and cook it the rest of the way. Like 2 hours in the smoker, 2 hours covered in the oven. I mean, you could cover it and put it in the smoker, but it's just a waste of pellets, in my opinion. So when I cover my brisket up, I bring it inside into my indoor oven. Now, big mistake, I did not put a cloth underneath this breadboard, and so it kept sliding around. And so I had to sort of fix that along the way. Had a few teething problems with the camera just in this section. But I put it on its side like this. First of all, I'm scoring it, and then I'm going to go back and finish cutting it. But I put it on its side so you could see the profile of meat to fat, the ratio there, because I don't know how many people have bought a beef navel brisket end. So beef belly. Let's just call it beef belly. That's what it is. So it's a lot and it's very rich. I will just tell you now, it's a very rich cut of meat. So you can definitely prep it and have lots available to you for a period of time. I love it. Everyone loves it. Beef bacon, I can understand why you would cut it in really thin strips as well, because it's so rich in flavour and rich in fat. So I'm doing high fat carnivore, so it's great for that. Have a look at look at that, those strips of fat. It's probably a 50-50 ratio, I'm guessing. I mean, it changes a little bit from slice to slice, but those end slices might be a bit more meat, maybe 60-40, 70-30. Yeah. Anyway, absolutely delicious. I highly recommend it. And it was not expensive either. I'm trying to think how much it was. I think it was it $70 for 4 kilos? Anyway, so bit of a no-brainer. What's happening now? We're just coating. I wanted to make burnt ends out of it. I wanted every piece to be covered in seasoning. I didn't want to have a long strip. I could have just cut long strips. I could have cooked the whole thing as a one unit, but the seasoning would just be on the outside. I was always going to cut it up into squares and then portion it into bags and pop it in the freezer, so because I can only eat 2 or 3 at a time. And I use it as another texture on my meal. So I like to have a couple of textures on my plate when I eat. And also the high fat content is the other thing I really love about this. So yeah, basically that's the whole navel brisket end there. Now I've got 2 trays. I put it on a tray because it's so much easier on the smoker to put it on a tray and put the tray on the smoker rather than try and pile it or line it all up on the actual smoker. So I'm going to take you out to the smoker in a minute. It was just, what a delight. I've learned a few things. I'm not going to do it very differently next time. What am I going to do different next time? I actually wouldn't mind trying strips next time. But look, I loved the seasoning. I loved the amount of time I got an incredibly squishy, tender factor. Yes, some of the smaller ones were a little bit overcooked, but you know what? They were absolutely delicious, and I like my beef overcooked sometimes, so that's all good. All right, let's head out to the smoker, and I set it on 115 degrees Celsius. Babies are in. Oh, the smell is fantastic. It smells amazing, the barbecue look. Oh, I don't want to put the lid down. I know I need to put the lid down. I'm doing something different. I've put a layer up top and a layer down the bottom, and I've closed the grate more or less completely. It's a crack, just a crack. You can see from an angle the flame. I'm just wondering whether it's too much or not. But what a beautiful day to be barbecuing. Look at that. Oh, yes. It's just lovely. Perfect. So good. So this is just me melting the stock that I had to use to pour over the burnt ends. Now, I thought in one of those packets, I thought was stock. It was actually a piece of beef. That's what you saw in the saucepan. Anyway, so I brought it all in. I've popped it in the casserole dish now. And this is the melted. I just keep all my stock in portions in the freezer. I just pulled some out and just heated it up. So that's what that is. And I just poured it over, wrapped it with alfoil over the top, which you'll see briefly, and then I popped it in the oven and I cooked it for 1.5 hours on a very low heat, and that was on 110 degrees Celsius in the oven. I need to write that into the recipe. Yeah, so good. Now I cover it with alfoil, and then we will see it cooked. There it is. There it is. Look at all that goodness. Oh my goodness. I tell you, for a little bit of work, you get a lot of result. It is just amazing. And this is me temping it. I mean, you know, it pierced like butter. And so I wasn't too fussed on what the temperature said. It was all cooked and all good. So um, it was probing really soft, really good. I was so happy with it. I just took a lot of video footage so you could bask in the goodness, bask in the goodness of it all. It's nice to just see its juiciness, tender. Yes, some bits were, on the end. I mean, they are burnt ends, so. But it was, here's me trying to show you that I could cut it with a very blunt spatula. And it just came open. So then I wanted to get some photos and all of that of it. So it's so hot at this point. I actually burnt my fingers a little bit. And so that's just, falling apart. There it is. I hadn't even had a taste yet. So delicious. So yes, I'm going to, once I show you all the jammy, rendered, squishy, ouch, that's hot. And then I don't know why, but I go and try and do it again. Yee, this one's hot. This one's one that, ouch, that bit, yep. after this, I said, no, I'm going to wait for it to cook. No, that's right. I said, no, I'm going to go and get some tongs. So I cut the footage out when I hiked it over to the kitchen to go and get some tongs and decided, yep, I'm going to do this and protect my fingers in the process. So that's me. I've gone to get some tongs and I'm back. Here we go. Let's load up and make a meat mountain of beef belly. You could certainly partially freeze it and slice it into very thin slices and do beef, but like smoke it first and then pop it in the fridge, let it set and slice it all up, and then you just cook it as you normally would bacon. Oh my gosh, it would be amazing. Haven't got my meat slicer yet, so I haven't done it. But truly an outstanding cook. I'm looking forward to my next one. I'm going to wait till I run out first before I do my next one. Look at all the juiciness. Look at all the goodness. Oh, lordy, lordy. Look at that. That is so beautiful. That is just delicious. So good. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. It was just all leaking. The juiciness was just leaking out everywhere. And of course then that, that fat, as it cools down, the fat starts to set. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you make it. This is me. I just had to have a little taste. There it is. And the rest I then stored in a glass bowl. And then the next day, I portioned it all up into bags into the freezer. And here's one more look at the glorious meat mountain that it is. I hope you make it. Drop a like, a comment, have a chat to me down below. Tell me if you made it and how you went with it. It's absolutely delicious. Thanks for watching.